The Secretariat confirms a letter dated May 19 setting the convening of the impeachment court supposedly on June 3, which was later on amended at a later date, setting it on June 11. Before recognizing the Honorable De La Rosa, Chair would like to make of record that as stated in the February 24, 2025 letter of the Chair to all the members of the Senate, where we quoted all the relevant Supreme Court decisions and rules and the basis for the action of the Senate President and Chair, namely, citing precedents as well as the practice both in the past by the Senate of the Philippines and by the U.S. Senate, na nagsasabi, kailangan mabasa in open session ang articles of impeachment. This is clear from the practice in the United States where we lifted, as the gentleman previously stated, more than a majority of our rules, and this was also done in the impeachment complaint. The only impeachment complaint that actually went through to the end during the impeachment trial of Chief Justice Corona. The impeachment articles were read in plenary before it was referred to the impeachment court. However, it was done by the majority leader at that time. That was the first time it was done, not written in our rules too, but when the Secretariat checked precedents and practice in the United States, it was actually the House prosecutors that did it, or who usually does it in the United States. Hence, the notice given for the June 2nd, June 3rd reading by the House prosecutors of the articles of impeachment. Thereafter, that will now be referred to the impeachment court, which will give rise to the creation of the impeachment court, the oath of this representation, as well as the members of the Senate, and the convening of the court to approve its rules and to set the calendar of the court, both either in this Congress or in the next Congress. For the record, as stated by Senator Villanueva, and as I stated, both off the record, meaning in media interviews, that the chair is of the belief that this will cross over to the 20th Congress, very much like the citations given by the Honorable Pimentel, not only because presidents in the U.S. so state, we have our own precedents too with respect to the Senate Electoral Tribunal, where the questions pertain to a term spanning 6 years, which therefore crosses over to the next Congress, despite the fact that the members of the Supreme Court constituting the SET and members of the Senate constituting the SET have been changed in the course of the change of the new Congress. And finally, as a point, Chair also made known its position that as a general rule and as a general principle, the law frowns upon starting something and not finishing it. Tulad na lamang ng mga kaso na nakabinbin sa korte, hindi porkit nagpalit ng judge o nagpalit ng mga maestrado ng korte, automatic dismissed yung kaso. Magpapatuloy yung kaso hanggang yon ay matapos. Before recognizing Senator Pimentel, may I ask, what is the pleasure of the Honorable De La Rosa, who was earlier raising his hand in the middle of the discussions?
Mr. President, if I may, just very quick,
With the permission
Mr. President,
of the
with the
Honorable
permission
De La
of
Rosa,
my two colleagues, Mr.
The
President,
Honorable Pimentel, the Honorable
very
Cayetano,
short,
Senator
Mr. President.
Villanueva is
Very
recognized.
short. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very short lang, Mr. President. Again, I am in the same position of the minority leader, but I just wanted to make sure that we are doing the right thing, the right process, and that we are, because we are men of rules, Mr. President, we wanted to make sure that we are in the right position to do this. The reading and the referral of the articles of impeachment in session, Mr. President, was done during the impeachment of former President Estrada, November 14, 2000. During the impeachment of Ombudsman Gutierrez, it was also referred, Mr. President, in session, during the last day of session, March 23, 2011. In the impeachment of Chief Justice Corona, it was also referred, Mr. President. It's just that, that's why, Mr. President, I just have this belief that we should refer first, Mr. President, before we can make that motion. And I will join the gentleman from the minority, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President.
Noted. Senator, what is the pleasure of the Honorable Cayetano?
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I just have to be clarified on some points, and this is in relation, of course, to the minority leader, the deputy minority leader, and to our former majority leader. So if I may proceed and just lay out the basis for my inquiry.
The gentleman may proceed.
Well, first, let me start out by saying I pray for wisdom for all of us, and I ask everyone to continue to pray for wisdom for us. I also like to state before I say my inquiry, it's unfair to just blame the Senate President. 23 naman tayong senador eh. Conscious naman tayo lahat nung February 5. Nandito naman tayo, pwede naman tayo mag-object ng, nung nag-adjourn, nung final yan. So, as the minority leader said, nandyan na yan, wag na natin tignan yung nakalipas. Forward na tayo, no? Second, I just want to comment dun sa mga law schools. I appreciate it, and I'm happy they're very active, and I'm happy that they have statements. But may I advise them also to be consistent? Kasi si Congressman Cardema nag-file ng impeachment laban sa Pangulo. Hindi tinanggap sa House eh. Wala naman ako narinig na mga sinasabi na dapat ang konstitusyon masunod at dapat tinanggap ng House yan. So, of course, hindi naman trabaho ng mga law schools na in each and every impeachment case magsalita. Pero in a highly charged environment. Can you imagine, Mr. President, during the campaign, sa mismong media interviews ng top news channels natin, tatanungin yung kandidato, pag kayo nanalo, are you for or against the impeachment case? Eh, klaro naman ang sagot dun eh. Ang sagot dun, hindi kami pwede mag-comment kasi magiging judge kami. Pero hindi. Sinagot pa rin ng mga kandidato at tinanong pa rin ng media. Pero kung konstitusyon ang masusunod, ang sagot dun iisa lang, mag-o-oath kami, dapat neutral kami. Eh kaya lang eleksyon eh. Kasi masama naman talaga timing ng pagka-file nito eh. Magpa-file ka during the campaign. That's the reality there. Kaya nga sa US, pagka-jury system, pwede mo i-sequester yung jury eh. Papayag ba tayo nung February na i-sequester tayong 23? Na ikukulong tayo at hindi tayo makikinig sa kahit anong media at i-determine natin ito? Maybe may papayag sa atin, meron hindi. But wag na tayong magsisihan. So I'll go to my question. So maybe that's why Shakespeare said, if you want justice, first kill all the lawyers. Diba? Eh kasi nga labanan na ng mga abogado to, pero hindi ibig sabihin na wala silang mga personal na bias nila. Mahirap magsalita dito na insulto sa lahat ng Pilipino to, eto ang gusto ng taong bayan. Eh, ang daming lugar sa buong Pilipinas eh, yung Duterte nanalo eh. Eh ang kampanya nila, wag ituloy yung impeachment eh. So, sasabihin ko ba na yun ang will ng tao? Pero kung titingnan ko naman lahat ng comments ngayon sa Facebook, sa SOCMED, gusto naman ituloy. Pati si Vice President Sara, sabi niya, I want to be held accountable. So siya yung ba sabihin ko, yan ang gusto ng taong bayan. Napakahirap po nung sitwasyon natin. That's why we need wisdom. But first question ko po, prejudicial question. Ano bang rules ang unang masusunod? Rules ng Senate o rules ng impeachment? Bakit to importante at bakit to prejudicial question? Tinitignan ko po kaninang umaga yung comment, allegedly, hindi ko sure, wala naman nakalagay doon na siguradong totoo yun, but meron pong comment ang defense team ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Correct me if I'm wrong, Senator Bato, Senator Bongo, my good friend, my brother, Senator Robin, kasi hindi ko alam kung official yon. To paraphrase, ang sabi nila, hindi magandang mag-comment sila, but they'd like to reiterate na tingin nila labag sa konstitusyon yung impeachment complaint na to dahil ito'y pang-apat at lumalabag to sa isang complaint sa isang taon. Okay. Kung yun ang stand nila, sino po ang hihimay sa issue na yan? Ang plenary ba under the Senate rules? Or yung impeachment court under the impeachment rules? Bakit ko po ito sinasabi? Kung may pinadalang bill ngayon yung House of Representatives, halimbawa dyan sa 200 pesos, at second reading pa lang halimbawa siya, pag ni-refer natin sa Committee on Rules natin yan, magbabay-cam na ba kagad tayo o sasabihin natin, sandali lang, second reading pa lang sila, kailangan mo ng third reading pa lang. Ang sinasabi sa akin ni Senator Villanueva ngayon, pinadala lahat ng records except for the bill that they passed. So we cannot act on the 200 peso minimum wage, additional sa minimum wage. But that's my point, Mr. President. Sino po magde-decide? Tayo po ba as senators o tayo as senator judges? Kung nilabag ang konstitusyon doon. And doon naman ako sumasang-ayon sa mga law schools. Let's proceed. Let's look at it. But yun na nga ang question. Yung complaint ba is firm, legal, according to Constitution, or may constitutional infirmity ito? My last question is just a question of logic. Nag-move yung ating minority leader na to convene na as a impeachment court. Yung ating deputy, sabi niya, hindi na kailangan magbotohan. Eh, pag nag-move ka, may botohan. So, sino masusunod sa dalawa? Why do I say this? I'm saying it not because it's funny that one will move and then kailangang magbotohan and the other one will move na magbotohan. Eh, kung matalo botohan, eh, sabi niya, hindi kailangan ng botohan eh. I say this for a simple practical reality. When you say the Senate, it is composed of 24 or in this case, 23 senators. So pag sinabi mong gumalaw ang Senado, ibig sabihin po, either walang nag-object or may botohan at yung majority masusunod. I cannot say right now, like Senator Villanueva, that I'm 100% in agreement with Senator Coco and Senator Risa. I can tell you I'm in agreement with certain things they've said. For example, Mr. President, it's our constitutional duty, kailangan mag-proceed. We should have done it earlier. But again, I won't blame you, I won't blame them, I'll blame myself. I could have written you a letter. I could have said na February, mag-ano na tayo. But let me just explain that one point. Why didn't I write you a letter, Mr. President? Kasi pag Pangulo yung ini-impeach, every single day na nandyan, kung totoo ang allegation sa Presidente, we all suffer. The country suffers, our institution suffers, accountability suffers. Pero pag Vice President, especially ngayon, hindi naman siya binigyan ng ibang trabaho eh. Wala naman siya sa kabinete. Yes, I want accountability. Pero between today and Wednesday, I'd rather pass yung Konektadong Pinoy at saka yung e-government at lahat ng ibang bills na naka-pending dyan. So, Mr. President, may I end by reiterating the question. Do we follow first the rules of the Senate or do we go into the impeachment court? Sino magde-decide nung allegations ng defense na na-violate ang Constitution sa one impeachment per year? The second is just to continue my observation, Mr. President. I agree with many here. Wala tayong choice, forthwith. But I disagree na sa Tagalog, agad-agad ang forthwith. Ang forthwith, yung ibig sabihin nun sa Tagalog is yan na yung susunod. Yan na yung gagawin mo. Oo, immediate yung agad-agad. Hindi ako expert sa linguistics, pero medyo hindi agad ang Tagalog ng forthwith. Yung immediately, yon agad yon or agad-agad, di ba? So, maya-maya, hindi, ibig sabihin ng forthwith, sang-ayon naman ako eh. Ang ibig sabihin ng forthwith, wala ka nang to quote dos por dos, susunod na. O yun ang ibig sabihin ng forthwith. Yung wala ka nang hihintayin, yun na. Kaya agree ako sa inyo na kailangan talakayin natin yung impeachment complaint. Pero gusto kong iklaro, sa tama o sa mali, botohan ang mangyayari sa atin. Hindi pwede pong bumoto yung 15 na hindi magko-convene yung impeachment. Tapos siyam kami o 8 tayong magpapakita doon na naka-robe. Kasi sinabi ng 15, hindi magko-convene eh. Anong pwedeng gawin? Pupunta ka ng Supreme Court, uutusan tayo ngayon ng Supreme Court. Yun ang legal system natin, Mr. President. So sana, tama desisyon natin para hindi na tayo maghintay na utusan pa tayo ng Supreme Court. Pero yung sabihin na walang botohan dito, I agree with the spirit nung sinasabi ni Senator Risa na dapat wala na. But the practical reality is that you have one senator who asked for a vote. We have to vote and the majority will follow. But yun nga, Mr. President, reiterate ko lang yung tanong ko. So dito po sa one-year rule, sino po magde-decide niya? Is it the Senate sitting as legislator, so rules muna ng Senate? Or is it the impeachment court? Because if it is the Senate, we cannot yet convene as an impeachment court because we haven't tackled that issue. But if it is the impeachment court, then we can go, and that's the first issue that we will have to tackle, whether it is a valid complaint. No? At tinatanong ko lawyers ko, hati din po eh. Sabi nung kalahati, hindi, dapat yung Senate kasi it's treated like any other legislative matter. Titignan muna natin kung tama yung pagka-transmit sa atin. Eh malay mo, transmit sa atin, na-hack pala. Hindi pala galing sa House of Representatives. That might sound like a silly example, but it is. It is possible. That's why we have to look at it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Before the